Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to Vignan Technologies. So let's understand what the S4HANA migration is. So what is a migration? So data migration is the process of transferring the data between a computer storage types or a file formats. It is a key consideration for a system implementation or upgrade or consolidation. So data migration is usually performed programmatically to achieve an automated program migration, freeing up the human resources from the tedious task. So migrate the data from non-SAP systems to SAP S4HANA system and from SAP system to S4HANA system. So this is the well-known context that BODS has got a lot of demand. Provide a comprehensive migration solution with no programming required by the customer. So this is about the migration, and there are different scenarios where the S4HANA migration can come into picture. So the first one is new implementation, second one is a system conversion, third one is a landscape transformation. So in the new implementation, so you might be implementing the ERP system completely. So it could be a cloud-based S4HANA system, or it could be an ERP system, on-premise S4HANA system. So your sources might be ERP systems or non-SAP systems. So in case of the system conversion, which is the second method, so you must be already having the ERP systems present and you want to convert that ERP systems into a new age S4 HANA ERP system. And third scenario is where we are trying to convert the landscape into a single or centralized system. Say for example, if we take ERP system which is residing in landscape A or region A, the ERP system residing in the region B and the region C. So all these three systems from three different regions will be combined and will be merged into a central ERP system which is called as an S4 HANA system. So these are the three typical migration scenarios where the S4 HANA migration can happen. So now coming on to the different methodologies, S4 HANA migration can be achieved by using the migration cockpit tool, which is a built-in one in S4 HANA system itself. And in the similar way is S4 HANA migration object modeler and rapid data migration with data services and the legacy system migration workbench, which is called as an in short LSMW, one of the oldest techniques available from the SAP ECC onwards. And there is SAP batch data conversion. So moving on to the first method, a migration cockpit tool. It is an innovative migration tool for SAP S4HANA. Initially, it was obtainable for a cloud release. However, now it is offered in the on-premise versions as well as uh, cloud versions since 2016 S4HANA version. It is developed into SAP S4HANA system and therefore no extra placements or arrangements are needed. To load the legacy data, it uses uniform files. However, it also incorporates the strategy to offer the capability to take out the data from the ABAP-based SAP source framework, especially. The migration which are supported can be defined by SAP and can only be improved using the migration object modeler, that is MOM. Okay, so SAP S4HANA Migration Cockpit is accessible for both cloud and on-premise version, but it may differ concerning some abilities, for the example, to alter the data in the performance area. So moving on to the migration cockpit, so this can not really perform the data validations, data transformations, data extractions, all that. So it requires a load ready files and it can load all of those files into S4HANA Cloud or S4HANA on-premise system. So if you look at this diagram, there are third-party systems and there are ERP systems. So we have to use a different mechanisms or different tools to extract the data and do a data provision to migration cockpit tool, so which can process the data and which can load the data into S4HANA cloud or cloud or on-premise systems. So moving on to the SAP S4HANA migration object modeler, which in short called as a MOM. This is another tool which is provided in on-premise version only. It has improve the skills which are building up each time and depends on the S4HANA edition. The following actions can be carried out with the help of this tool. Display the target structures. The activity provides a summary of the target structures. These are managed by APIs which are utilized by migration objects to present the data to the SAP S4HANA system. And edit the source structures. With the help of this function, you can alter the foundation structure and add a field according to the prerequisites. Edit the field mapping. This function helps to plot an innovative or an improved field from the source to the target structure. So these are some of the disadvantages of migration cockpit, which are overcome by MOM, which is migration object model. So moving on to the third methodology, which is rapid data migration with data services. So this data services is a one-stop solution to your end-to-end migration. So this data services tool offers proficiency for data extraction, transformation, loading, and it performs all the ETL activities and also provide the competencies for the data quality management and text data processing as well. Utilizing this competency free of cost, however, data services license is required for the data quality structures. This package also consists of sample migration content in the form of the business partner, materials, etc. So look at this diagram, so which explains how the end-to-end migration can happen using the BODS. So BODS being an ETL tool can connect to different flat files, Excel files, databases, application systems and XML files. So it can stage the data as per the client requirement, and it can do a performance analysis, and it can do a cleansing of the data and apply the transformation rules, and it can validate the data, and finally it can provide the load ready files to LSMW technique or LTMC, whatever it may be, or it can directly load the data into S4 HANA system as well. So once it loads the data in the form of the iDocs to S4 HANA SAP ECC system, and it can do a reconciliation as well. So we can build the reconciliation methods to check how many materials or how many customers or how many vendors have been successfully processed into S4 HANA system. And we can build a kind of error report to see how many are errored out during the data migration process. So in short, this is a one-stop solution for all of your end-to-end data services migration to S4 HANA system. When you use other tools such as LTMC, LTMOM, they'll not be really able to perform the data extractions, data validations, transformations, cleansing, some stuff like that. So data services is definitely a one-stop solution for all of these things. And there is another tool which is called as a LSMW. It stands for Legacy System Migration Workbench. So this is one of the oldest migration tools utilized for data migration from the legacy system to SAP framework, and also from one system to another system as well. So this different techniques such as BAPIs or IDOCs are also accessible as an extra input strategy for processing the legacy data. This method is used independently from a standard batch or a direct input and recordings. So LSMW includes the following data migration steps. So recite the data, that is the legacy data in the spreadsheet tables, convert the data from the source to the target format and import the data into the target database. So these are the three major steps to be followed while migrating the data from LSMW technique. So the last methodology, which is SAP batch data conversion, which in short is called as a BDC. So this is another method of migrating the data to SAP, in which data is transferred using the batch input program and can be executed using a call transaction method or a session method. It helps to transfer large amount of data entries related to the data entries from the legacy source system to an SAP system. It works by automating the process of manual data transfer. In this method, only the data which relate to a single transaction is transferred initially with the help of correct data format. It automatically moves all the outstanding data entries that run in a various lines using the same data format. The entire process happens in a background and the data are transferred one by one as a similar to the manual process. In this method, the data is transferred from legacy system to SAP system, but not from the SAP system to legacy system. These are the two methods of batch conversions. One is a call transaction method, and another is a batch input session method. So this is about the different methodologies used in the S4HANA migration. So thanks for watching the session. Please continue to watch the rest of the sessions.